so I can make sure we're good. We should be good.
Yeah.
Let me just do that.
This great segue back to something. Didn't you?
Oh, see, we've got to turn that off. Let me just make sure we're good to go. DirtBall's like, why is it so early?
You don't care, right?
No. Good. We should be good.
Yeah.
We are good. All right. Let's do it, Tug.
Yo.
That was loud. All right.
Hope my yo is loud in your ear.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's all right. Let me turn you down a little.
Yeah. I'll probably be at this level.
You be at this level?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
All right. Let's do it. Guys, welcome to the YouTube page. If you like the show, give us some comments, give us some upvotes, some likes, whatever they're called, and we're going to get this thing going. Let's do it. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I am your host, Andrew Thomas Ruther, coming to you live from the Smut Studio in Venice Beach, California, with my co-host today, filling in for Joey No Chill Praino, the one and only Tug Coker.
Hello, Andy.
Nailed it. You like how I gave myself my formal name?
Yeah, because why is that?
Because I am in a amazing sports jacket, courtesy of Flag and Anthem.
You look incredible on this warm, sunny Sunday afternoon. You still look so cool.
Thank you. As do you.
Well, I have to say thank you for letting me wear my Flag and Anthem jacket. But since I'm only the fill-in co-host, I keep the tag on.
Oh.
Yeah. That's going right back into the closet for the next fill-in co-host, everybody. This is how generous Andy's been with me today. Lets me wear it, but not take it home.
I like this. I think we should have like a lock. Like what are the things that when you go to the dry cleaners?
With like a rack?
Like the thing you put suits in. I clearly I don't wear suits. I don't even you unzip.
Yeah, like a travel bag. I mean,
a travel bag. Yeah. We should have it secure with a lock.
Well, I've said this last time that I want to walk in like Mr. Rogers and be able to come in and take off my shoes, which I offered to do today, and he said, "Don't worry about it," and put on my official co-hosting outfit.
Yeah.
So this is the first step.
Well, I'm going with a seersucker shorts and a sports jacket and no shoes.
Yes, that's very Andy. January 27th. It's like it feels like summer outside.
Mid-70s today
for Venice Beach, California.
I feel like we're rubbing it into the Midwest fans who are dealing with. Did you see some of those temperatures in Minnesota?
Yeah, I did. I did. It's
you know what I did today?
What?
I fell asleep by my pool for 45 minutes in the amazing hot sun.
Did you also go for a run today?
I did not yet.
No run yet.
I didn't have time.
Post-show run.
Or bike ride tonight.
Bike ride, okay.
What I did yesterday was I did 8.5 miles in the sand. I've never done that.
Are you serious?
Barefoot.
No way.
Took me an hour and 25 minutes.
What are you, like Apollo Creed, Sylvester Stallone it right now? Who does that?
Well, here's the deal. I want to really test my body and train in a way that makes it more difficult. I'm being serious. So yesterday was high tide. So we're not talking flat sand. I ran when it's the difficult sand. I ran all the way down to the jetty in the Marina Del Rey and then all the way down to the Santa Monica Pier and then back. It was 8.6 miles. I did an hour and 25 minutes.
Wow. So I mean, you obviously do the math. I'm not going to do it right here, but what was the breakdown per mile?
I'm not sure. I'm obviously way quicker with shoes on hardtop.
Well, that's why I'm interested because it's like it seems like
if you break that
stupid.
If you break that down, that would be about around a 4.5 hour marathon.
That's ridiculous, man. I went out. I ran today. I'm not a runner, guys and gals. I ran like maybe 2.5 miles, 3 miles, and I was exhausted. But I'm blaming the fact that I have 2 kids.
Yeah.
My day yesterday was incredible. I wanted to enjoy some sun and do a little get a day beverage in. So I went down to the Venice Beach bar or two, and I played some spades with some friends. Are you a card player or no?
I'm not. I saw your Instagram stories.
I need a partner. I wonder if Joe plays.
Joe is a card player.
So I need like a fourth sometimes. So,
Yeah.
I thought of you, but then I thought I've never seen Andy actually talk to people in the real world. So I don't.
What the hell does that mean?
I'm just because every time we hang out, like we hang out here a lot. We've hung out at some other functions, but we hung out at Goldberg's Super Bowl party last year. But like they're always around like
Dirty sports.
And then we did go to the Rams game together, but that you were also with Joe.
Yeah.
So
which was again me arguing about
Russell Wilson
and Eli Manning with Praino.
Exactly.
It never ends.
So I just started to daydream a bit. Like, what is Andy like out in the wild?
Well, here's the deal. I'm gonna drive you home.
That's true.
Today.
This is great news. Everyone knows a little bit about this, right?
What's that?
The development in your life.
I have not announced anything.
Wow.
I got a new car.
And it's an adult car. It's like I'm growing up.
It's a very practical car, but I like it. It's a Toyota hatchback.
Yeah.
It's a black hatchback because black car lives matter.
And you saw some prominent people at the car dealership. You told me.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. I went to Toyota Culver City Toyota. Jason Whitlock was right by me.
All the sports media stars go to the Culver City Toyota.
He didn't
Jason
buy
Whitlock.
though. They were pretty angry.
He test drove like 12 cars.
Well, you want to hear some inside dirt that I got?
Do you want to put Culver City out Toyota out like that? Do you want to?
Well, I got some inside dirt from one of the dealers. He was fuck it, I'm saying it. It's Dirty Sports. He was supposedly up there buying a car for a side piece.
I don't buy this.
You don't buy this?
I feel like that's a joke that Whitlock says.
It could have been.
But
But he didn't buy. Whitlock's a big boy in person.
Doesn't really love the side piece is what we're getting. Not enough to buy that.
Not enough to buy the side piece. Yeah. Something similar to what I drive. The hatchback is not the most expensive car.
No.
But apparently the side piece ain't worth it.
Nope.
But before we get into everything, I have to give you something.
Oh my gosh.
We made a bet the last time you were on.
We did.
The Seattle Seahawks versus your Dallas Cowboys.
That's right.
Tug's Dallas Cowboys, who never grew up anywhere near Dallas. Tug's Dallas Cowboys.
We're gonna get into this. I've seen some posts. I've seen some conversation.
Tug's Dallas Cowboys. Well, we made a bet. I had full confidence in my man Russell Wilson. We all know I am an unabashed Russell Wilson slurper supporter. I thought he would do it, and he didn't.
And I believe I referred to them on the show and as one of your favorite terms in 2019. A paper tiger.
Which is ironic because we're about to get to a paper tiger.
Oh, no.
Who is Tiger Woods.
No.
See, you're setting yourself up. So anyway, we made a bet that the Seahawks would win or lose. You took Dallas, I took Seattle. It was for a year's supply of Trader Joe's green tea.
That's correct.
The Andy Ruther drink every morning. And Tug, I have it. Let me grab it for you.
This is a big moment for me. You know what? This reminds me of when Sean Payton brought in the Super Bowl earnings that the Saints would win when they win the Super Bowl. This is my moment.
This is 386 green tea packets. And as I drove back from Trader Joe's, I saw a Girl Scout selling Girl Scout cookies. And I picked up some of these that I might throw in for you. If you like, what do we got here?
These are tag-alongs.
These are tag-alongs, which I love.
I know the colors. That's trefoil.
Trefoil.
Yeah, I did say when you showed me this, the Girl Scout cookies, I'm a little sad there's no Samoas or no Thin Mints, but I love a tag-along, so thank you. This is going to go home with me. I'm never going to eat these. They're just going to go on my trophy mantle for eternity with my participation trophies I won in high school.
I cleared out Trader Joe's, basically.
Yeah.
Now, for people who don't know, if you go to a Trader Joe's in West LA on a Sunday, it's chaos. So I went to the one on Sepulveda in Culver City. That's my go-to. I mean, it's a nightmare.
I've stopped going to a lot of Trader Joe's unless it's like the first thing in the morning or last thing at night.
That's exactly when you have to go. You figured it out.
Yeah.
You have to go within an hour of opening or an hour before closing. So I went at 11:30 and it was chaos.
No, forget about it.
So they had, I believe, I had about 11 of these ready to go. I took 8 of them. But
You called ahead. They're ready to go. You called and said, I'm clearing you out of green tea.
The girl was very confused at checkout. She goes, why do you have a year's supply worth of green tea?
Are you really sick?
Yeah. So, but here's the best part that I learned. For anybody who, this is some financial advice from me. 386 tea bags, 386 green tea bags cost $19.92 from Trader Joe's. They're getting a free plug, $19.92. I did the math on that. If you never go to Starbucks, you never go to Coffee Bean, Pete's, any of those places, guys, if you want to make your own green tea from Trader Joe's, a year's supply will cost you 19.3 cents a day.
That's a great free plug. That's and there's no discount too, right? You just that's even this is an everyday price.
Everyday price.
It sounds like we're doing an ad. It really does. It sounds like we're reading an ad.
It truly
does. But you know
what?
what? This is one of the biggest accomplishments I've or the biggest gifts I've ever gotten, at least in the past, since my kids were born and people forgot about me as a human.
Now, can your kids eat the Girl Scout cookies?
One of them, who's 2.5, can have a cookie. I've seen him on sugar, and I do not want to give it to him.
Okay.
But maybe we'll.
What about your wife?
Yeah, she'll enjoy tag along. Absolutely.
Okay.
Maybe even a trefoil more, to be honest.
Yeah.
But this is a big day, so thank you, and thank you to the Dallas Cowboys, my team, who I've loved since I was 5 years old. Just to get into that a little bit, I saw a lot of shots fired.
Yeah,
on social media.
But before,
and let me before you. One of the first times I ever came on the show, I said that I have like a diaspora of teams. Because of my allegiances my parents had, or where I lived when I was growing up, and so yes, I am a Dallas Cowboy. I'm all the things that people hate. I'm the things that I hate. I am that guy.
Let's just refresh.
Yeah,
everyone, you are from Virginia.
Well, I grew up in Virginia, but I did live in Michigan. My dad went to grad school in Michigan, and in Ann Arbor. Yeah, so I was like. I went to kindergarten there and things like that, but like I still got to watch Anthony Carter play and some of these guys, coming up, Harbaugh.
But how for the Cowboys, you're in Redskins territory.
Yes,
I mean that's a division rival.
Part of me thinks it's just a contrarian thing because so many people were Redskins fans.
Now, is your dad a sports fan?
My dad's a big time sports fan. Yeah.
And who was his football team?
Didn't really have one.
Okay.
I can remember. I think he probably liked the Cleveland Browns.
See, now we're starting to locate some problem.
Well, let me just say.
No. I see why. I'm saying I'm figuring out why you chose the Cowboys because you didn't have your father figure was absent.
My father figure was absent. Hey, pull that quote from my pops.
Your dad was absent in bringing you up in an NFL world.
An NFL world, yes. This is like, should I lay down on this couch? Are we having a full session here?
Let's do it. Can I move these, by the way?
Please get them out of here. That's enough. Get them out of here. But I just want to say that I remember when I was my mom is from Oklahoma. They don't really have a team, a professional football team to support from Oklahoma. So a lot of people support the Dallas Cowboys. And so one of the first gifts I remember getting when I was young was a Dallas Cowboys helmet. And so
you were hooked from there.
I will say this. People can kill me, and all my friends who are now all of you too will crush me for this, and that's fine. It's all fun. But all the teams I root for, they're not that great. It's like I've been loyal to the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, we won 3 Super Bowls in the 90s, but we haven't won a lot in the wlast 20-something years.
But wouldn't you agree that's also a bandwagon team still?
I think that's true. It's amazing how many fans. I mean, when I went to the Rams-Cowboys game, I was blown away. I think we talked about this, about the
Yeah, you said it was about 60-40.
Yeah, 60-40, I would say Cowboy. I mean, in my section, there was 2 Rams fans. So I don't know why it's such a powerful...
Because they're still pumped up that way. They still get all the national TV games. They're still marketing Dallas as America's team.
Look, do I wish I rooted for another team?
Okay, so Dallas is your
team. The heart
team.
wants what it wants, guys.
Okay, so Dallas
wants what it wants.
But Tug, this is where that's fine. Okay, so Dallas Cowboys are your NFL team.
Sure. Yeah.
And the Boston Celtics are your NBA team.
Yeah. My dad's family's from Boston, so
okay. So there's something I can understand a little.
So and my dad is family from Boston, and
the Mavs didn't exist.
The Mavs were I did love Roy Tarpley.
When did the Mavs come into existence?
I love Daryl Tarpley. Probably like Jason Kidd.
Yeah.
I mean, they existed. They're they were a team.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like what? Yeah. When did like Jimmy Jackson?
But I was 100% a Celtics fan because my dad loved the Celtics. He loved John Havlicek because he was from Ohio.
Okay.
And my mom and dad, my dad was born in Boston, and they moved to Ohio, so he just continued to love the Celtics. So that's my story, guys. I'm starting to sweat a lot because I just feel like I'm in the hot seat.
Who's your Major League Baseball team? The Yankees?
I love the Yankees. No. But I'm sad because the one team that I've abandoned from my youth is the Detroit Tigers. I loved the Detroit Tigers growing up. And then I moved to Cambridge, Massachusetts in 2002. And at this point, the Red Sox had not won the World Series. And I rooted hard because I went to a lot of games at Fenway. And I went to Game 3 of the 2003 ALCS. And from right field, I watched Pedro throw down Don Zimmer.
Oh, that's a great game to be live at.
I was all in, and they lost the 2003 series with Aaron Boone. Like you could hear a pin drop in town. So I was like really like all in on the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Through that little era. Baseball's the one team where I still root for the Red Sox and the Tigers, but it's probably the least passionate about all the teams.
So you are the most.
I'm the worst.
Bandwagon.
I'm just the worst. I really am.
Hey, you're saying it, not me.
No, I don't disagree. And like I said, if I didn't care for those teams, I'd love to abandon them and find somebody else. But it is what it is. So anytime you put those things on social media, I'll take the heat.
Tug, you're a very upstanding individual. You really are.
Thank you.
You can sit there, you can own it. You're not backing down. You're in a way calling yourself out.
I always say this, like I love watching. Like I think it's funny when you go to a sporting event because when you watch the games on your own TV, you think it's your team. Like it doesn't matter where you're from.
Yeah.
It's like this is my team in my world.
Yeah.
And then you go to a Cowboys game and you're like, oh my God, like there's a million Cowboys fans and I hate all of them.
Sure.
It just becomes a very weird thing to see other people root for the things that you root for. So as far as I'm concerned, like I'm just in a bubble.
How many Dallas Cowboys fans at that Rams game do you think are Tug Cokers? Who did not grow up anywhere near the state of Texas, the city of Dallas?
I don't know. I can't put a number
because
on
that'd be something interesting for me to see.
Yeah, you really. Yeah, I mean, I have family in Texas. I like.
Oh yeah, I'm a dick about it.
Yeah,
I am. I'd say this is where Praino and I agree a lot too. It's like we like to pinpoint. Wait a second, who's this Cowboys or Yankees or so and so fan?
But do you believe it has to be like? If we talk about globalism in today's society, like, do you have to be from that city to root for that team, or is it because it's a bandwagon team? Like, could I live in LA and have my son root for the Mavs now, and that'd be considered cool?
Yeah, to me that's different.
Okay,
it's
just a bandwagon thing.
A lot of it's what your dad does. That's what I was asking. Like my dad, I grew up Reds, Bengals, Xavier basketball. You hate Ohio State.
Yeah.
Like, that's what my old man preached, and that's how it always was. We'd always, root for those teams, root against Ohio State. Then, ironically, my little brother is about to graduate from dental school at Ohio State. So, I saw my dad wearing an Ohio State hat, and I said, Dad, all you ever preached was anti-Ohio State. Well, your brother's going. I'm like, no, you can't just. He's like, I don't root for him. I'm like, you're wearing a hat.
It's funny how that happens. I think it totally. I think I've said this before in the past a show that my sister was Greg Williams' secretary / assistant while he was with the Redskins, and obviously I didn't care for the Redskins, but they treated that organization treated my sister so nicely. Like everyone was so cool.
Yeah,
that I stopped like really hating these other teams. I started to realize for the first time, there's real people involved in these organizations, and I can see my dad grew up a huge Ohio State fan, but then he went to Michigan, so like that changed.
Sure.
really fast. But yeah, I mean, long story long, like I get crushed a lot. My friends love it.
It's all right, Tug.
Other DirtBalls love it.
It's all right. We still love you.
Yeah, I can take it.
You can handle it.
Listen, I wish I rooted for the Patriots because I think like imagine living in a world where for the last 20 years you had a chance to win the Super Bowl every year.
It's wild.
That's I mean, just imagine. I can't imagine living in a fandom like that. So I obviously chose poorly.
But the young kids don't remember what we remember. I can remember how bad the Patriots were in the early 90s. I believe they went 1-15 one year. I can, you know what I vividly remember, which is so weird. I remember that now I'm dating myself. I used to get the Cincinnati Enquirer, which is the Cincinnati paper, every day. I was the first one up in my family to get it because I'd go straight for the sports section.
What number were you in the brothers lineup?
4.
Number 4.
But I was always the most gung-ho about sports.
Yeah.
My dream was to be on Sports Center as a kid. Now I'm like,
how that dream has changed.
Yeah. Now I'm like, Jesus Christ. I don't want to be on a show that covers Tiger Woods for 4 hours when he's going to finish in 12th place. But anyway, we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
So I was always the first one up. And I can remember one time when I was in like 2nd or 3rd grade, my buddy, he came over for sleepover and and he was a big sports guy. And I remember us looking at the NFL standings. Think about that. You were looking at the paper for the standings. And I remember him laughing hysterically at how bad the Patriots were. Like, that's what I'm saying. That's what I remember. I forget what year it was. Early 90s for sure. I think they went 1-15 one year. And then we were like, oh my God, they're 1-10. They're so bad. So my point is these young kids, they don't remember that. They don't remember how bad the Patriots used to be.
There wasn't really a good sports team in Boston for a lot of the 90s. The Celtics were rebuilding. Rick Pitino was driving that train into the ground. Yeah. Parcells turned it around for a minute.
Yeah.
The Red Sox were scuffling, if not quite,
Well, the Red Sox made, in 1990, because that's the year the Reds won the World Series, they got swept by Oakland, but they did win their division, and they played in the ALCS. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
But you're right. They were never – Boston is such a good sports town now. It's been great for basically 20 years.
The Patriots thing, and then we can, move on to some other topics other than my fandom, which is now, going to be immortalized. But I just can't get over it. And I love Tom Brady. Part of my issue with Tom Brady is that I wish he was like this dominant when he played at Michigan.
Yeah.
Instead of battling with Drew Henson all the time. And
sure.
Things like that. But like just the thought of like almost half my life, they've been awesome. I can't imagine any other. There's just so few sports teams where like they've been awesome for 18 to 20 years. A chance to go to Super Bowl like with 9 conference championships. It's easy to hate them. And
this is a run,
but man,
that is historic, and I don't think people fully appreciate it. As crazy as that sounds, I'm glad you're bringing it up because I don't think people can fully understand the Patriots' dominance. Now, it helps that they're in a shit division.
I think that does help.
It helps a lot.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you still got to win the games.
Field Yates from ESPN, your network, sent out a thing that kind of like was saying it was more than just the division. Like they're just a dominant team. I mean, it's what I'm amazed by is that Belichick does what everyone says they think they want to do when they're in the NFL, which is like, we'll scheme week to week.
Yeah.
No one else really does that.
He's such a good coach.
Yeah, it's just, and I go so far to be like, what can I actually glean from the Patriots organization in my own life? This is my quest to get better as like a business person. It's like, they just think about things that no one else thinks about. Like Evan Silva, if you guys follow him on Twitter, he's an awesome follow. Just talks about how they just like hoodwink the rest of the NFL with like trading down in drafts. Always trading down, just accumulating assets because, you and I talk about this a lot. Like it's hard to predict who's going to be great.
Yeah.
So just get more shots.
Sure.
Just get as many shots as possible.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out how I could just like do what's the Patriot way of my life. Anyway.
You got to get Bill Belichick on the phone, man.
Seriously.
What do you think Bill would trade for your 386 green tea packets? I feel like Bill could somehow get a adequate player for your 386
yeah.
Trader Joe's green tea packets.
Yeah, definitely.
Like that's how good of a coach and GM he is.
Get Jarvis Landry.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, one thing that I know Bill Belichick loves is the Robinhood app. He's a fan. I have not heard him personally say this, but I know because he's a very savvy, smart guy. I am a fan as well. I have it. Joe Praino has it. Guys, Robinhood is an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, options, cryptos, all commission-free. While other brokerages charge up to $10 every trade, Robinhood doesn't charge any commission fee. You can trade stocks and keep all of your profits. Plus, there is no account minimum deposit needed to get started, so you can start investing at any level. The simple, intuitive design of Robinhood makes investing easy for newcomers and experts alike. Now, they're going to make me read this whole thing. This is this tough one today. Can Ruther do it? All right. View easy-to-understand charts and market data and place a trade in 4 taps on your smartphone. That is something I can do. 4 taps. You can also view stock collections such as 100 most popular. With Robinhood, you can learn how to invest in the market as you build your portfolio, discover new stocks, track your favorite companies, and get custom notifications for price movements so you never miss the right moment to invest. Guys, how simple does this sound? Robinhood, even better, is giving Dirty Sports listeners a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help build your portfolio. All these amazing things you can do simply by signing up at dirtysports.robinhood.com. That's dirtysports.robinhood.com. Thank me later.
Make money.
Get paid. The Pro Bowl. Hot takes. I did not watch a single second.
I didn't watch any either. I did see Andrew Luck. I saw one play where Andrew Luck literally threw it right into the ground. That's the only play I saw today, and I kind of just laughed. And then, but no one watches it, but it still rates. You'll see that the social media guys who follow the TV ratings is still going to do well.
You know why?
What else people got going on?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I hate to do it. But I'm going to have to do it. When you grow up in places like where I'm from, and it's 30 degrees and snowing.
1 degree in Minnesota.
1 degree in Minnesota. I'm not blaming these people for watching it. No. I'm just saying it's not 75 degrees, Venice Beach, Santa Monica weather.
The other thing I'll say this, just to sort of provide some cover for the rest of the country, is that you and I are talking about this a little bit. This is one of the worst. Yes, I watch all sports, so I sat up and watched the Australian Open last night for the 12 dirtballs out there that love tennis like me. Like I came home last night and watched Djokovic absolutely obliterate Nadal.
You can sit there and watch tennis.
Oh yeah, I love it. I mean, I went to Wimbledon last year to see Federer. So yeah, I mean, but my point is that in the U.S., this is one of the single worst sports days of the year, I think, because we know. Yes, it's tough with no football, in the spring months of the year on Sundays and stuff. But like, we're sort of being tantalized knowing there's a Super Bowl next week, and there's really no big ticket thing on right now. So what else are you going to watch? You're going to watch, our boy Tiger. He didn't play. He wasn't on prime time television today. He was on the lower end of.
I agree with you. It's a bad sports day. Everybody's excited for
Michigan State, Purdue. Like it's a fun game. Like you don't really get jacked up for that unless you're a really big diehard college basketball fan. You don't really tune into college basketball until Super Bowl's over. I mean, yeah. So it's just a tough day. And for all the guys that are out there and the gals that are getting married, this is a tip. Like look to get married this weekend. This is a good weekend to get married. I got married on Labor Day weekend on a Sunday because Saturday was kickoff for all of college football. So none of my friends could yell at me, so they couldn't be watching games when they're when they're at my wedding. So I got married the next day when there was like no games on. NFL hadn't started yet. So that's my tip to you.
It's a very, very good plan you have.
Yeah. So get married this weekend.
Yeah.
The weekend before the Super Bowl, during the Pro Bowl.
Get married during the Pro Bowl.
Get married during the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, because if your friend says to you, "Yo, man, I can't make your wedding. I'm watching the Pro Bowl."
They're not your friend anymore.
Exactly. that's the invalid excuse. You can't use it.
No. No, but I will say this: like I did a quick study. AFC blew out NFC 26-7, but Juju got hurt, and this is gonna cause some. This is gonna be guys, get ready to have your feed flooded with think pieces on the Pro Bowl about people playing with Juju limping off the field, apparently limping to the bus. I'm sure the Steelers are not exactly thrilled.
Look,
with
man,
the situation.
If you look at the three major sports that we cover here on the show, baseball, basketball, and football, without a doubt, the Pro Bowl is the worst of all the All-Star games.
And it should be the worst. It should be the worst because it has no relevance. There's no incentive. There's some money, but people no one wants to tackle.
Yeah.
For no reason. Unless you're Sean Taylor, R.I.P.
Yeah, they always bring back that video every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, baseball, for a while, are they still doing the sides, the home field advantage?
Yeah.
So that happens, but it's also a good fun game to play. You're not gonna get killed.
Sure.
If you go all out. Basketball is a showcase. It's super fun. It's probably the most fun, I think.
It's bad though.
It's bad. I don't watch any of them.
I mean, those games
I don't watch any of them.
Those games are 180 points.
Yeah.
Teams are putting up 180 points in the NBA All-Star game.
If you rank them according to viewability for you,
baseball's first.
Baseball's number one.
Yeah, because of those reasons. Because baseball actually matters, even though I don't like that format. I think it's bullshit. I think the team with the best record, that's how you have to go on for home field advantage throughout the playoffs. But baseball's number one for me, then basketball, then Pro Bowl.
I'm old, but am I so old that remember there was times where the All-Star lineups were absolutely loaded. Like when Bo Jackson was playing in them and things like that. It just felt like it was. I don't know if I get that impression from All-Stars, the last 5-10 years where each lineup is just filthy. But maybe I just don't pay enough attention to baseball. It's a Joe Praino question, I guess.
Yeah, they're pretty stacked. I think for watch value, you get your best return on investment with baseball. ROI, people. I mean, come on. I'm hitting them with a lot today.
Hey, listen, Robinhood has taught you a lot of things.
Yeah.
Including ROI.
ROI. They've taught me money. They've taught me how to spend 19.3 cents on traded. I can't get over that. 19.3 cents.
I did watch a couple skills competition highlights.
I watched my boy Russ.
Yeah, he played great, but he was playing with listen, I'm a Trubisky guy, but he could not hit Mike Evans in these games at all. We're talking about 6 or 7 over the head.
Yeah,
it was not a shot, one shining moment for my boy Mitchell Trubisky. But
what's your opinion on him at this point?
I'm still on board. However, I do think they'll take a step back next year just because they remind me a little bit of the Jacksonville Jaguars, where it's just too hard. It's just too hard to maintain the defense at that level. So,
by the way, I'm looking at the comments section.
Are they great? Are they very positive?
Thank you, Daniel. The baseball All-Star game does not decide home field.
I knew it. Thank you, Daniel.
I am wrong. How many people?
I looked at Andy Wright. I looked at Andy. Was it Theodore?
Thomas.
Andy Thomas.
Andrew Thomas.
Andrew Thomas, Ruther right in the eyes, and I said, I hinted. And he said yes.
Now, Tug, you're a thespian. You're an actor.
I try to be.
You've done it all. TV, theater, Broadway.
Yeah.
You've done all these things. Now, if I was a serious actor, I would have to go with Andrew Thomas Ruther, right? It's a very formal, serious acting name, don't you think? Andy Ruther is a comedian name. Andrew Thomas Ruther.
I think so. But my buddy Andy Buckley, who some of you I know there's a few of you Office fans out there, who played someone on YouTube. Tell me his name. It's escaping me. He played Steve Carell's boss, Michael Scott's boss. Is Andy Buckley. Great guy.
Yeah.
And he's in season 2 of Now We're Talking. So I can't wait to get all you Office fans watching whatever the boss's name of Michael Scott.
I should know this too, and I don't.
Help me out. Help me out, YouTube. But Andy's an awesome guy, and he's got some gravitas to be Andy Buckley.
Yeah.
Just think about it.
I'm not saying that you can't have the name.
You don't have gravitas. That's for sure.
I don't even know what gravitas means.
I don't either.
I don't even know what that shit means.
I don't either.
Okay. By the way, now we're talking season 2.
Yeah, listen, I come on every time. We're
Any
so
updates?
Oh my no, but we're so close, guys, and I can't wait. I'm going to need all of your support when we finally hit up the streaming platform that we're finalizing talks with, and it's one that you've heard of. So I'm excited.
It's one you've heard of.
Yeah. Hey, do you want to do this? Do you want to just talk? Can we talk a little bit about last week because I missed it?
Yeah, go for it.
Just the Saints Rams game. I know you had some thoughts, but I saw it came out today that Adam Schefter. This felt like a clickbait piece, stir the pot, where that it was discovered that 4 of the referees live in Southern California. So this caused even this is because now there's some bias towards the Rams.
Well,
did you read this?
Well, the one ref, Praino pointed out, the one ref played for the Rams at some point.
No, I don't know about this. All I know is that the article came out today saying that there were 4 referees in the game last week that live in Southern California, and somehow they think that this is an issue. That's
hilarious.
It is hilarious. Even though the Rams and the Saints both approved the referee team,
and no one in LA cares about the
nobody
Rams.
cares about the Rams. No one is rooting for the Rams.
So I went to Target last night. By the way, we talk about when to shop. Target's open till midnight. Now that I have a new...
This is my theory that you don't socialize in the real world because you go to Target on a Saturday night.
I'm a loser.
It's open until midnight.
I am such a loser.
Oh, man.
So I'm all excited. I'm like, I got a new car. I want to get in it. So I arrive at Target in Culver City at about 11 p.m. They're open till midnight. No one is there. No surprise. If you want to shop at Target, you go the last hour on a Saturday night. No one's there. You know, I'm just in there wasting money on stuff I don't need. Everything from more running shorts to I bought some candles. I mean, this is what we're talking about.
Yeah, this
is depressing.
Yeah.
I'm like a white girl who needs a boyfriend.
Get yourself a nice new hatchback.
Yeah, so I go in the section of sports clothing. Bro, depressing as hell. Most of the Ram stuff was sold, but the Chargers stuff, it was just all Charger stuff. It's depressing. It's truly depressing.
Yeah, I mean the idea that and I think I know that you have some issue with Saints fans, but
well, can I explain my issue?
You explain your issue, and then I'll see if I can counter.
We went into it last week, Joe and I, of course. I pretty much agreed with Praino. It was a bad call. It basically affected the end of that game. But it was one call for the 1,000th time. Go back and review footage, pictures. They missed just as many calls on the Rams as the Saints throughout the game that would have affected the game. Jared Goff clearly had a face mask. A guy hit his face mask, which would have then put the Rams in the fourth quarter at the 1-yard line, 1st and goal. They ended up getting a field goal out of that drive. My point is this. Missed calls happened. Now, there was...
They also should have gone for it there.
They
should have gone for it there. We texted during that play.
Sure.
They should have absolutely, in my opinion, gone for it on 4th down there.
But my point is this, Saints fans, and I'll look into the camera on this. All you guys who are so worked up about my one tweet saying, well, basically karma happened because he had Bountygate 10 years ago. You were paying to end Brett Favre's career. But take all that and throw it aside. It's a 4-quarter game. This was one play. Missed calls happened throughout the game. And let's not forget, your boy Drew Brees couldn't get it done. Facts. He scores 1 touchdown in the first quarter. 3 times they have the ball in the red zone. He scores 1 touchdown. 0 points in the second quarter. Go compare Jared Goff's numbers versus Drew Brees' numbers in the second half. Jared Goff, who I've been critical of, played great. That's why Joe and I upgraded him from a medium pizza to a medium pepperoni pizza. So you can say all you want about this one play. It's a full game. And that's not even a question if Drew Brees does what he has to do and you had the ball in overtime. So Saints fans out there who want to keep complaining and keep whining, if Drew Brees scores that touchdown with the first possession of overtime, you're not even talking about that. And I know I'm right because you wouldn't care. End of story.
No, I agree with a lot of those points. I think the biggest one is their inability to capitalize on those first quarter drives, the turnover, the Gurley, whatever, bobble into an interception. You got to score touchdowns. Everyone. I mean, we all watch enough football to know, like, when you don't hang 7 on people, it comes back to get you. This comes back to bite you all the time. I will say though, that the call is probably the worst non-call I've ever seen. And it would affect. The thing I think about is how many millions of dollars change hands. Not in a betting perspective, but just for like franchise reasons and players and stuff. And like, there becomes an integrity issue when they need to solve this problem. They need to figure out the problem.
And I agree with you. Yeah. I'm not denying that. But my point is, again, Tug, stop being a fanboy. All you Saints fans. I'm sick of, I don't care whether it's politics or sports or whatever it is. Stop being a fanboy. Take a step back, look at things objectively. And if you look at that game objectively, you can't say my entire season was ruined because of one play, because a lot of other stuff went into that. That's all I'm saying.
My question is, why are you spending money on billboards? Like, what are you getting out of that? Like, I mean, I guess if you got money to burn, good on you. Yeah. Far be it for me to tell you how to spend money, but like,
it doesn't matter. All those Saints fans, they're gonna watch the Super Bowl.
And if they don't, it's not gonna matter. Like, this is another thing that I think about like a lot. Like, do you get as crazy passionate about games as you used to? Like,
no,
that's me either.
You know why? One, I'm a grown ass man. I'm 37. I'm not gonna get as passionate. 2, it helps that I do this, right? I try to be objective. All I ever preach is people being objective. Again, on all stuff. So I think I have to be objective when I look at games and players to try to present that on this show. But yeah, the most upset, I can tell you the most upset I've been recently. It was definitely Xavier losing last year as a number 1 seed to Florida State. It was when their coach left. Both those, I was pretty butthurt for a couple days. When the Reds blew a 2-0 lead in 2012 to the Giants, when they took the first 2 in San Fran, they go to Cincinnati, they lose 3 straight. I was really like, but again, those were all instances I was upset. But guys, we're not a week later. And I had rationale. You know what I'm saying? Like I think I was pretty level-headed on being like, okay, it is what it is. It's sports. But these people who I'll just say it. If you're that upset, you have something missing in your life.
I mean, I think it's very possible. I think we also had a video where they got punched through the TV. Did you see that?
Yeah.
The Saints did? That's an incredible amount of energy.
It's next level.
Next level. I mean, the most upset I can think of is a couple years ago, Cowboys were playing Green Bay Packers, the Jared Cook game where Crosby hit a couple big field goals. Aaron Rodgers has that amazing play. And
are we talking
Jared Cook on the sideline?
Are we talking the Dez no catch?
No, that was infuriating for sure.
Oh, you're talking the Dak game.
Yeah, the Dak game. Yeah. But I was in Vegas for that game, and we lost that game, and I was pretty upset. But I was way more upset about the fact that I lost 8 straight hands of blackjack at halftime.
Yeah,
I mean, I care way more about like my own stuff.
Sure.
Than what's going on with the Cowboys or really any team. I can't think of like.
And I'm not saying you can't be upset. No. You can't be emotional. I think that's why we all love sports. That's why you and I, love sports. But like I said, I'll be sour for a few days. But to let it manifest and run your life, again, I'm not a psychologist, but I think to me that says you have something missing. You have a void in your life if you're going to put all that energy and emotion into a football team.
A lot of psychology today from Dr. Ruther, Saints fans, my fandom.
You know why?
It could be like a side project for you.
Well, first of all, I've always been interested in psychology. Do you know this?
No.
I'm fascinated by psychology.
You take psychology in school?
Just the basic classes.
Just knew everything. Just already knew everything. So
I took the basic courses, but I'm always been fascinated about how the human mind works, and that's why I just watched it. And talk about something that's been sticking in my head. I just watched the Ted Bundy tapes on Netflix. Wow.
Good.
It's very good, but Jesus Christ, talk about a sick and demented, awful human being. Obviously, we already knew that, but it really breaks down the psychology of him and kind of how he worked and his methods. And he was a psychology major. He got his degree from University of Washington, psychology. Now, I'm not saying I'm a serial killer because I'm not.
It's a plug for the University of Washington psychology department right there. This big picture of Ted Bundy as you walk through the halls.
Hey, you know what?
Very proud.
I propped up Trader Joe's, and I
University of
you
Washington.
take and you give. What's the saying go?
Yeah. The Lord giveth and he taketh away.
I giveth with that Trader Joe's plug, and I taketh away with that University of Washington. Is it University of Washington?
That's what you said.
Or Washington University?
That's in St. Louis. That's where you went.
No. Wash U is St. Louis.
Yeah.
So it's got to be University.
UW.
Yeah.
UW. Yeah.
University of Washington.
Yeah.
Lovely place to go on a serial killer spree.
Hey, the last thing I want to say about the Saints, you may have talked about this with Joe, but like, you got to give a shout out to Greg the Leg. Like, I feel like that kick.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah. That kick is going to get lost forever.
2 kicks.
And the 57-yarder is an absolute bomb. Like, you agree, both kicks are awesome, but it's too bad that, like, you know, Vinatieri's awesome too. He had some huge kicks in his life, but like that 57-yarder was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's going to be forgotten. It's not going to be talked about because they're going to talk about
it's been forgotten.
Yeah.
It was amazing. You know, what do we say? 65 yards? That would have been good?
Absolutely.
I watched the NFL Network re-aired.
Can we just say, why is Jay Feely? I don't want to take a shot, but why do we have a kicking reporter on CBS? What's that about? I love Jay Feely. Went to Michigan, wore gloves when he kicked. But like, I'm just trying to understand, why is he on the payroll? I mean, like,
well, look,
why do we have a kicking announcer?
Give some love to a former Dirty Sports guest. I say, how much better would that be? You take Feely, you replace him with Pat McAfee.
There you go.
Someone with some energy, someone with some swag. That's what you do. If you're going to have a kicker, you got to have McAfee.
That's a great call because I'm not knocking.
He's very bland.
It's just I'm trying to understand what they don't use him because they pay him and they use him maybe one time. It's like, well, Jim, you know, I talked to Greg before the game. I'm crossing games here, but he told me that the kicks were good from 64, 65. If you really put his leg into it, back to you, Jim.
Yeah.
The only thing. What else is he going to say?
But let's be honest, Tug. What is any sideline reporter? What information are they really giving us? You know, my dad used to always say, he's a cynic, but he used to always say, they didn't interview that person. They didn't talk to that person. My dad used to get all mad. You know, they'd cut to Aaron Andrews like, well, I talked to, Sean Payton. And my dad like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. How do we know? And I used to laugh, but the more I think about it, Walt Ruther might have a point.
My only explanation is something I think you have to agree with is that like it's content is king. Like people, you need to be talking about stuff during the game. So you got to have somebody to throw something down, throw it down to them.
Well,
we need some content. We got 40 seconds between plays.
That's fine, but like I said, upgrade Feely, man. Feely's not exactly someone who's going to grab your attention.
I like the McAfee call a lot actually.
McAfee in jorts on the sideline in a tank top.
Yeah, you get like you could. What was our boy's name who used to be on the sidelines? There was a 3-headed monster. Him, Tony Moose and Goose.
Siragusa.
Yeah, you just throw a McAfee down there.
I liked Siragusa. What happened to that?
I don't know.
Do you want to hear something crazy? Siragusa, wasn't he in the original Boogermobile? Wasn't he sitting in something?
Well, I don't know if he was sitting in something, but he definitely took he was in the end zones. But I don't know if he was sitting in something.
I think he was just eating food. He's a big boy.
Super Bowl champ. Thanks to your boy Ray Lewis.
Yeah. I think he was in something though. You're right. He was definitely in the end zone, but I don't know if he was in like the Boogermobile before there was a Boogermobile.
He was almost before his time. He was almost like a little bit. He had a little bit He was like a predecessor of the McAfees of the world.
He would go rogue.
Yeah.
I love dudes who go rogue.
Did you guys talk about Tony Romo?
We did.
And you guys were both fans or no?
I am not.
Yeah, we talked about this last time.
I don't want to know what's about to happen. That's my issue.
I don't mind it. I'm a fan.
I like to see things. I'm also very, I can be a spur of the moment person. I like to live life on the edge a little.
Yes, you do. Target 11 o'clock at night on Saturday.
That was a spur of the moment decision.
I got to go. I got a new car.
I'm going to Target. I'm buying some candles. Who the fuck buys candles on a Saturday night? God, I am a loser. Maybe I should get back on dating apps.
Do it.
You know what it was? I always would host a comedy show every Saturday, Tuesday and Saturday at that Santa Monica hostel. And I gave up the Saturday show. And this was the first Saturday since I gave it up that I didn't have plans. Like I was in Vegas last weekend. The week before that, Joe and I did the Rams game. The week before that, I had a date, blah, blah, blah. So this was my first just free Saturday. I didn't know what to do except watch Ted Bundy and then get some candles at Target.
It's like you're making Ted Bundy. You're like cutting Ted Bundy's skin and you're putting it on, going to Target at 11 o'clock at night, watching like your hero.
I didn't go.
I'm very scared actually to be in here. Is it door locked?
Well, first of all, if I was Ted Bundy, I'd be at a sorority house right now. I would not be hanging out with a young, strapping gentleman like yourself, Tug. I will say, the sports jacket looks, you match pretty well. You look like you might have won just the Masters or something.
Well, the Masters would have me in a green jacket, but
that's true.
This jacket it makes me feel great.
Well, guys, if you want to look as fresh as Tug and myself, simply go to flagandanthem.com and drop promo code DIRTYJAN, that's just dirty and JAN, for 25% off your order this month. You can get a sports jacket. I'm rocking the Seersucker shorts. There's tons of winter stuff for everybody getting hit by the blizzard and that awful winter weather. So go to flagandanthem.com, drop promo code DIRTYJAN for 25% off. I mean, guys, these sports jackets are a great deal. I believe they're $99. You put the 25% off code, you get them for $75. You can look just as fresh as us. Again, that's flagandanthem.com, promo code DIRTYJAN for 25% off. Okay. Did you want to talk Tiger? I feel like Tug is here. You want to talk Tiger?
You know, I've seen some of the comments in your social feed saying like we can talk Tiger. Let's keep it to a minimum.
Who do you think? I got to give some love to Joe Praino, who's currently in Pittsburgh, and then he's going to be in New York the rest of the week. So you guys should see him in the New York area. I believe Praino. I know Praino just ran with that Dirty Sports Twitter feed with the tiger shade. That's all those tweets are Praino.
Praino texted me yesterday, and it was like, help. Like he's like, looking, I'm getting a little older. I'm trying to get into golf. Help me explain this. Tiger is not relevant in this tournament. Why is he literally every article on ESPN? And I said, for two reasons. The fan base for Tiger is huge.
Sure.
And the troll business of ESPN is huge. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They know that the people are so polarized by Tiger that they're going to like hate there's all the coverage. And then it's a very casual fan site, ESPN for golf. Like, people who aren't real fans don't go to ESPN. They go to golf, channel, golf.com, Golf Digest, whatever. So, I want to present, I think Joe Praino, for all you golf heads out there, we'll keep it short, that Joe Praino should join the bandwagon of John Rahm. That's the Joe Praino golfer I'd like to see.
I'm sorry, who?
John Rahm.
Who's that?
He's from Spain, played at Arizona State. He's like 23. There's still some room on the bandwagon for him. I think Joe Praino should join that bandwagon. But let's talk about Tiger, who finished, I looked it up today. I thought he finished T12. That's incorrect. He finished tied for 20th. Had a good day today. I think he shot a 5 under 67.
Well, look, we've already discussed at length the Tiger stuff, and I don't need to repeat myself. I stand by what I've said in the past. But I do have one thing I'd like to add. I agree with everything you're saying.
Yeah.
But the news media, this isn't just ESPN, this is all the news media. They're dictating what we want to see.
100%.
So my argument, whether it's not just Tiger, whether it's Tiger Woods or Johnny Manziel or Tim Tebow, notice I'm listing all irrelevant athletes now. when ESPN is making this conscious decision to cram someone like Tiger Woods or Tim Tebow down your throat, they're also dictating what they want people to either care about or not care about, correct? Or to troll, like you were saying. So my argument is this. I get what you're saying, but I could come back and say, if they want to put the time, money, and energy into propping up another golfer, they do have that ability. And then Tiger would slowly get less and less attention. Do you see my point?
I do.
So that's just my argument back to kind of counter it is people say, oh, everyone cares. And I'm not disagreeing with that, but I'm also saying they care because it's being shoved down your throat. It's the same thing with the whole Donald Trump phenomenon and all this other stuff. You see, in the past, nobody cared about a 16-year-old dealing with the Native American at a rally. Do you see what I'm saying? But the news is going to say, we're going to force this down your goddamn throat. My argument back is, I don't think people ultimately care as much as they want you to believe in all these things.
I've heard you say this stance before, and I hear you. I think the golf people in media would love to find stories that are as compelling as Tiger, and I think they tried. When Tiger disappeared, I think they saw the ratings disappear too.
Yeah.
So I think they're just following the money. It's like the ratings get higher when Tiger plays.
But like, okay, take Brooks. How's his last name pronounced?
Koepka.
So I saw he posted a picture
in a thong, right?
In a thong,
yeah,
next to his smoking hot Instagram model girlfriend who's wearing a matching thong. You can run with that. That's all I'm saying. Like you take in today's social media age, you have this. How many majors has he won?
3, I believe.
So you have a guy who's won 3 majors. He's popular. He's dating an Instagram model, which everybody loves talking about. He's posing in a thong. My point is, if they really wanted to, they could run with that, some of these news organizations. That's all I'm saying. But to me, they're not. You're saying they're looking for storylines. That's a storyline they could even run with to promote this guy. I don't think they care. I think they're still obviously, we both know this, they're still obviously all in on Tiger, which is fine. But again, you're a product of what you get shown. That's all I'm saying.
And look, I mean, I follow there's probably a handful of us out and listen to this podcast that are as passionate about golf as I am. And I think like there's not a lot of guys that are as inherently like Tiger. When you listen to Tiger talk, he's like not that charismatic or he's not. I think behind closed doors, he's funnier than we give him credit for. Kind of like got a jocular sense of humor, but like there's just an innate charisma about Tiger. You can't say that about a lot of players on the tour. Like there's just not a lot of dudes that I'm like that guy seems like a cool guy or like a dominant guy or people bash Patrick Reed because he just wanted to be. Patrick Reed won the Masters last year and really became the villain of sports of the golf tour. Like, so I don't know what people always want to root for Phil because he's kind of like.
But my point is, aren't I just listing one right now? I'm saying you have a golfer posing in a thong. I'm just saying like that's a story you could run with. That's all I'm saying. Because to me,
I think golf has a problem with that because they don't want to be. They're having an identity issue. Not to get too deep into golf because I know most of us don't care, but like golf wants to be seen as like they're trying to. They've changed. They put some rules in play to kind of make it feel more relevant to people who play in the public courses. Like you can putt with the pin in this year. Couldn't do that last year or hundreds of years before. Now you can putt with the pin in. Speed of pace of play kind of reminds you of like being on a public park. They're trying to become.
Well, this was already figured out 20 plus years ago. I don't know what they're doing, but they should just rewatch Happy Gilmore because even though that's a comedy and obviously it's ridiculous, but it's hilarious, classic Adam Sandler movie. Dude, you can take stuff from that. Like the Tiger. I remember when Tiger first came out and it was great for inner city golf. Remember that?
Yeah.
It was great for areas where you traditionally did not have golfers. And Tiger was amazing for that, especially within the black community. That still doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying? Like that wore off is all I'm saying.
Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison.
Did I say Happy Gilmore?
No, which one is your favorite?
Oh. Billy Madison.
Me too.
Joe and I have debated this.
He's a Happy Gilmore guy?
No, we debated best Sandler movie, and I said, like, comedy, like, vintage Sandler to me is Billy Madison. Praino said Big Daddy. And the Dirtballs, this really brought people coming out of the woodwork to share their opinion.
People were like, it was polarizing, like it was all over the place?
Yeah. To me, vintage Sandler is Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison. That doesn't mean I don't like it doesn't mean I dislike Big Daddy, but to me, Billy Madison.
I think I'd rather watch if Billy Madison was on, I would probably stop to watch it before I stopped to watch Happy Gilmore. Even though I think Happy Gilmore has a ton of funny jokes, for some reason Billy Madison makes me laugh.
Me too.
But Punch Drunk Love is probably like the movie that people don't appreciate Adam Sandler.
But when we say vintage Sandler, I believe, I could be wrong, I believe that was our discussion that we had. And Praino said Big Daddy. And I was like, vintage Sandler, again, to me is...
I don't even know if I've seen Big Daddy.
Really?
No. I gotta do some go back into the vaults and see the classics of Adam Sandler.
I mean, Sandler has a rich catalog.
Yeah.
I feel like he gets shit on a lot unnecessarily.
Have you seen any of the Netflix? I'm not. I'll just tell you right now.
Now,
I haven't seen a Netflix film.
I will say, I did attempt Sandy Wexler. Ooh. And then I did, now I look back I didn't get through 2 of them. That's not a good sign. I did attempt the, what was the parody of? The Grateful Eight? What was his parody?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The Longest Yard, the football?
No. What's the Great Eight? Like the Western one that he parodied. I didn't get through that either.
7 or something.
I didn't get through that.
Did you see 100% Fresh?
No.
I heard this. I would like to see that. But
what's that?
It's a stand-up. I think he did like a
stand-up. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I've said this before. There's too much content.
Well, when Now We're Talking is coming out, guys, whenever it does, hopefully soon, it should be soon, I need you to watch it. So,
But that's content everybody has
Everyone
to watch.
will love that. Everyone will love that.
I mean, there's rumors that I have a line in it.
That rumor may be true.
One line.
Well, I definitely cut some pieces together from our improvised stuff, which I've said before. So I'm excited to show that to the world. And shout out to our boy, Nick D'Alessandro.
The dude's amazing.
He's doing, I know most of the dirtballs out there know who he is, but you know what? He does a sports show for Central Michigan, and I listened to it. And he did a great job. And, he's got a real future. So shout out to Nick. And I know that you're always looking for faces to cut up in videos. So here's a couple faces real quick. When Andy says something stupid, I'm going to do this right now. Just cut to me shaking my head. There you go.
When have I ever said anything stupid? I mean, it's not like I've gone 2-8 on my playoff picks.
Great video. Cut by. There you go.
I call him Nicky D. I don't know if he knows this. He's in my phone as Nicky D.
He might be in my phone as Nicky D.
I just think he's a Nicky D.
One of the worst sports days of the year, guys. This year, today.
I'm trying to think of a worse sports day.
I mean, I'm sure the dog days of summer are not great, right?
Yeah.
I think you and I talked about this before. When they start showing the Little League World Series on ESPN, I take down my TV and throw it out the window.
Are you following college basketball at all?
I've been paying attention to college basketball because 2 of my teams, Michigan and my alma mater, Virginia, are top 5 teams right now. And I did something I've never done in my entire life, and I encourage you all to never do this as well. I went to Joe Lunardi's bracketology today. Can you believe I did that?
Yeah, I can believe it.
Just to see what's going on in the college hoops world. And he had Michigan State as a 1 seed. Unfortunately, they did lose today to Purdue. And he has Michigan as a 2 seed playing Virginia. But I saw, it's a wild world out there. There's only one Pac-10 team or Pac-12 team is going to make it into the tournament.
Arizona?
Whoever wins the tournament. Whoever wins the...
Arizona, I had that game on last night because the amazing Bill Walton was calling it out here in Westwood. So I had that game on in the background. Arizona got smoked. by UCLA.
Right now, they predict Arizona State to be the champion, but they have them as an 11 seed. Like that's how weak
the Pac-12
is right now.
Yeah.
The winner of the Pac-12 will be an 11 seed. It could be in a play-in game.
Wow.
So I'll say this right now. Like everyone's going to remember forever that Virginia got beat by a 16 seed last year. And it's tough to swallow for Virginia fans. But
I don't think the way they play basketball would ever win a title.
I don't know about win a title, but they're continuing to beat teams down in the ACC aside from a very competitive Duke game. I think this is a year that if you're in Vegas, which we're not going to be, right, because we're going to be calling all 12 hours of March Madness.
Are you ready for that?
I can't wait.
So how many? I need 2 more TVs in here.
It could be 2 more TVs. It could be computer screens. We can maybe rip them off the tablet or whatever. But if I was in Vegas, I'd put a little money in Virginia this year. I think
no way.
Nope. Because
I haven't even watched them. Again, that style of
to me that's Tennessee, right? We like Tennessee to me is
I wouldn't touch Tennessee
Paper
either.
Tiger, right?
I wouldn't touch Tennessee either.
Paper Tiger use of the week. Rick Barnes just not known for really getting it done. Virginia just ran into a bad situation. I think they learned a lot. And they have a top 10 player. DeAndre Hunter didn't play last year in the tournament. He hurt himself. This year he's a lottery pick, playing for UVA. Jerome is probably a late first rounder. They got two quality, players.
What about Kentucky? Kentucky's playing good basketball right now.
They beat Kansas yesterday.
Yeah.
Obviously, Kentucky's. There's always it depends on their seeding. You know what I mean? Like, they're not a team you want to face. They end up being like a 4 seed or something.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be pumped to be the 1 seed getting Kentucky in your draw, but. I don't know. I think I feel like there's, I think Michigan State's, again, they lost today, but it's just hard to go I mean, these conference games are just hard to win. It's hard to win all of them.
Yeah.
So, I think Michigan State's still a team that's you don't want to see.
Let's talk Zion Williamson.
Yeah.
Our team's tanking. Who's tanking in the NBA to get him? He's without a doubt the number 1 pick, right?
Yeah. I don't think that was the case before he played this year. I think R.J. Barrett was going to be the number 1 pick, and he might be, it might be 1-2. But the Knicks are definitely tanking. The Cavaliers are tanking. Can you imagine the Cavaliers? Are the Cavaliers going to get it again? Wait, are we serious right now?
I think we are. That'd be great, right?
Do we care? Does the NBA care enough about the Cavaliers to give them another first-round draft pick? I mean, number 1 overall.
And they've wasted how many?
Well, LeBron got him a title, so you can't say that they wasted it, right?
Anthony Bennett?
Anthony Bennett is obviously the poster boy for mistakes.
Where'd he go? UNLV?
Yes.
All right. So right now, if we look at the conference standings, I'll pull it up here.
They drafted Wiggins.
Yeah.
And traded him. They have Kyrie. Traded him.
So the Bulls have 11 wins, the Knicks have 10, the Cavs have 10, and then the Suns have 11. Those are your worst current NBA teams.
What's a comp for you for Zion? I hear Larry Johnson, like a more explosive Larry Johnson, but more so than just the player, like the energy.
He can handle the ball though.
Yeah,
Larry Johnson couldn't handle the ball.
What do you think? Like, what kind of like the fervor around Zion? Like, when's the last time it reminded you? Like, Greg Oden comes to mind for me. Even though Greg Oden didn't pan out, like everyone was salivating over Greg Oden.
Yeah, I mean, he gets LeBron comparisons, but let's just end that shit.
I agree.
Like, let's not compare Zion to LeBron. I just don't like that comparison one bit. I don't know. I mean, he's a very interesting and unique looking player. If you watch him play, I don't like the Larry Johnson comparison because Larry Johnson couldn't shoot. He couldn't handle the ball. And Larry Johnson,
Zion's not the best shooter yet. I mean, he can definitely improve, but I'm just checking the team that's really impressing me right now is to jump over the NBA is
go ahead.
The Bucks. Bucks, you know what? I can't say I was like a full believer in the Bucks. They're losing right now to the Thunder. But Vegas rates them pretty highly. The Bucs are playing at Oklahoma City, and the Bucs were favored. Like that to me is, I don't know if they're ready for that, but like they're definitely like respected by Las Vegas right now, which makes me respect them.
Where do you put Milwaukee as far as making the finals?
They have a shot. I mean, the Pacers are probably done, right? With Oladipo?
Pacers are done.
Yeah. The Pacers are currently third. Don't see that happening.
You got the Raptors 2. The Sixers are right there. The Celtics are right there.
It's a matchup-related thing because I think Boston kind of has Philly's number right now. But Toronto could be a tough out. And I think the Bucs Celtics series was really tough last year. So I don't think I would want to see the Bucs this year. I think there's 4 teams: Bucs, Raptors, Celtics. And
I think
Sixers
the Bucs might be a year away from making it to the finals.
They're playing good right now. Let's switch it to the West. And what do you think? Like, where do you see the Lakers ending up? Obviously, they're gonna when LeBron comes back, they're gonna make the playoffs. They're 9th right now. Who do you see them leapfrogging?
I think the Lakers can get up to a 6. Can you see that all right?
Yeah. So So Oklahoma City, potentially Lakers game. I mean, I'm very interested.
Is LeBron coming back? What's the deal?
Let's talk about this.
Let's talk about it. There's rumors that his camp does not want Luke Walton coaching the team anymore. They want him done.
I saw these rumors.
I mean, look, I'm a big LeBron fan. He also has a history of getting coaches fired. I'm not even having an opinion on that because I don't even know if I have an opinion on that. But the fact is, if LeBron wants a guy gone, he's gone.
That's true.
But then again, he was also in Cleveland. This is Los Angeles. This is the storied Lakers franchise.
The Heat chopped ahead. Didn't they take out Van Gundy? Oh no,
no, he always had Spoelstra.
It's always Spoelstra.
Yeah.
Only when maybe when it was Pat Riley was the first time around. I know for a fact that whatever. That's a Praino question. Van Gundy got chopped, and then Pat Riley came in and took over. But yeah, so it was only.
When they won the title.
Yeah.
They won that title with Dwayne.
Yeah, but
that was Pat Riley.
Exactly.
For sure.
It's always Spoelstra.
But he always had Spoelstra in Miami. You look at Cleveland, Mike Brown.
Of course.
Who's the guy who went to coach in Israel?
Yep. That's all I'm going to say.
We don't know his name?
Blatt.
David Blatt. Ty Lue, you done?
That's 3 guys. That's probably more, too. I won't be surprised. My question to you is, or to the Lakers is, who are you going to get? Like what I don't know who we get.
Me and Praino talked about this. The conclusion we came to was you add Bill Walton as the assistant coach.
Yeah.
That's the only logical explanation we have.
I mean, I love Magic. And Rob Pelinka did go to Michigan, played on the Fab Five team on the bench. But yeah, it all circles back to this curious roster they put together.
It's not a good roster.
It just doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't know.
My opinion. By the way, since you've been here, my opinion has not changed on Brandon Ingram one bit. Brandon Ingram, I don't know how many times I'm going to say it. I watch him. I watch the Lakers all the time. He is a bust. He is not a top 3 pick. You're in your 3rd year. You got to start playing like a top 3 pick. He doesn't.
I bet you, because I remember we bring up Brandon Ingram a lot when we're together, but like outside of LA, I bet you no one even knows who this dude is.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No one cares. Like, he doesn't affect games that much.
It's exactly what I'm saying. You're a top 3 pick. It's your 3rd year. LeBron's down. Who's stepping up? I love Kuzma's game. Rondo was out. Now, it's a lot better that Rondo's back. they have guys who will come in and step it up. You'll have your random good game from Beasley, from JaVale McGee, from who's the big white guy? What am I forgetting his name? Zubac. You have those guys step it up, but who's their consistent guy outside of Kuzma?
And Kuzma hasn't been as consistent as we'd hoped. I mean, coming back from injury, he had a couple bad games. I'm a Kuzma guy.
Yeah, me too.
But the great game last night with the Celtics and the Warriors, obviously pretty high quality game. But the Warriors won 10 in a row. I mean, it's
not fair.
It's just hard to beat the Warriors. I mean, like the Celtics played really well. Kyrie hit some big shots. I mean, tough game, good game. I don't know if you were at Target. Might have missed that game.
I was watching that game.
Watching the screens at Target. But man, I really
Am I gonna? By the way, real quick am I gonna be that guy who ends up with like a companion doll? Am I gonna be what's the Joaquin Phoenix movie I just watched? Am I gonna be the her?
Oh yeah.
Scarlett Johansson.
That's right. The voice.
The artificial intelligence girlfriend.
I don't think it's far away.
Me or that?
No, you definitely you. But yeah, the NBA is it's gonna be interesting, but really not in the West. I mean, the West is I just don't see anybody. The Warriors are just
Praino said this, and I in a way agree. I just hope LeBron doesn't come back, just so everyone can see. I was arguing again the other day with somebody about this, how bad the Lakers are without him. It's like, let's just end this discussion.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, do the Lakers have fears? I mean, he's gonna come back. He's gonna come back when he wants to come back, but he hasn't had a lot of injuries in his career.
No, and that's what we're saying. This might be the beginning of the end.
Yeah, wondering.
Right? Because we still don't know.
But I'm sure he'll come back.
But we both agree, right? There's no the coaches out there. Who you getting?
I have a clue.
There's no other alternative.
What's interesting about basketball is there's no scheme matters to a certain degree, but it's not like a Sean McVay who within 10 years come up and go to the Super Bowl. The game is so susceptible to good coaching. Football, basketball is there's some great plays. I mean, obviously there's some great.
You have your Brad Stevens running the plays, but a lot of it's just ego management.
A lot of ego management
with NBA coaches. Yeah, dude, I agree. I think. Look, I mean, I've said it. I don't know how many times I'm going to say it. To me, it doesn't matter. It's the Warriors.
And then we'll see what happens. I mean, we'll see if Durant is done enough and he's going to move on. So it's going to be a very exciting offseason. But the season doesn't look like there's going to have too much drama.
Well, Tug, I am excited to get to some DirtBall calls. I think we should do that. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Well, let's hear from the people. Before we do that, I want to remind everybody to pull open, if you haven't downloaded already, your SeatGeek app. We talked about this last episode. Tickets are down. Prices have gone down for this year's Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta. So hop on SeatGeek and get you some tickets. Guys, I love SeatGeek because you can see exactly where you're going to sit. And actually, Tug, I wanted to bring this up as we're talking about SeatGeek. I was looking at tickets. I know you're a big concert goer. Is there any interest to see Elton John at the Forum next weekend?
I would say some interest. I haven't seen what the ticket prices are, but
okay.
But I went down and saw this band, 19-year-old girl from Maryland called Snail Mail.
I saw that
on
your Instagram story.
Her album is awesome, and her band's album is awesome. Check it out. And then Parquet Courts, who I'm sure some of you are fans out there. But it was at the Nova, which is right next door. Traffic was horrible to Staples, where EJ was doing his farewell tour.
Well, this one would be at the Forum, and I was looking at tickets on SeatGeek.
I'm into it.
Okay,
I saw some clips. I'm into it. So
I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of his music. I got to see him when I used to live in Las Vegas at the Coliseum. It was an amazing show.
That's cool.
But guys, if you want to get your tickets, only use SeatGeek Because best of all DirtBalls get $10 off their first SeatGeek purchase. Just download the SeatGeek app and enter promo code DIRTY today. That's promo code DIRTY for $10 off your first SeatGeek purchase. SeatGeek, life's an event. We have the tickets. Okay, you want to throw on those headphones, my friend?
Desperately.
Let's get to some. Oh no, you got yours in front of you, on your right. Left. Whatever. Okay, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got today for the DirtBall calls. You know, we were just talking LeBron, and I know we get a lot of LeBron questions, but let's start out with a LeBron question. What do you think? What do you think, Mr. Coker?
I'm into it.
Cool.
Hey guys, this is the mythical Chupacabra. Got a question for you guys regarding Jordan and LeBron. Hypothetically speaking, if these two guys switched eras, meaning Jordan comes to this era and plays, and LeBron goes back to Jordan's era and plays, how do you think that would turn out? Meaning, would LeBron be as loved as Jordan was, and would Jordan be as, I guess, not hated, maybe marred as Jordan was? Also, take into consideration that they're still the same people. So LeBron seems like a pretty decent guy, so he's the same way back in the 90s, and Jordan is a closeted asshole nowadays. I feel like with technology that would affect him, because if you're an asshole, someone's definitely going to know about it. But anyway, guys, condoms are for the fucking Cowboys. I'm a fan, and they fucked me this year. I knew they were going to suck. Thanks, guys.
Well, look, Chupacabra, I know you're a Cowboys fan, but sucked. You won a playoff game. I don't think many people saw the Cowboys win a playoff game. You should be happy.
Shout out Chupacabra for being a Cowboys fan.
We have decided that's one of our favorite Instagram handles. That's a great one. Chupacabra.
That's a good handle.
And his one before that was salad_breadsticks.
I'll say this: he shouted me out on a previous call, so I'm a big fan.
Here's what I find interesting about his question. It seems like he wasn't really talking the on the court stuff, because you get that all the time, and I think it's played out. He's kind of talking about the image stuff.
I like that angle of the question a lot better anyway.
Yeah, me too.
So great question. And I agree. The social media thing is just so...
It changes everything.
I mean, the Steve Kerr fight probably comes out.
Oh, hands down. Hands down.
You know, the night that he is...
and by the way...
The night he goes to Atlantic City, everyone videotapes him.
And by the way... You're saying things that maybe some of the young dirtballs don't even know. Guys, for the record, Michael Jordan fought his own teammate, Steve Kerr.
Yeah, punched him right in the face.
Punched him right in the face. So you see these things about Andrew Wiggins and these guys aren't actually physically fighting. We're talking an actual fight. So you make a great point, too, about Atlantic City. All these things Jordan did, and not just Jordan, everyone. In fact, let me take a step back here for a minute, because I've been really chewing on this. And I've started writing some bits about it. I don't want to use any of my bits, but it's along this premise. One could argue that life was much better before all this stuff, because you could get away with stuff. Just everyone in life. And you weren't, to a degree, even people who aren't athletes, aren't celebrities, to a degree, everyone's somewhat under a microscope. Agreed?
Yeah.
Because everyone has access to video on their phone, which is still new. Guys, the iPhone came out in 2007. You can't forget that. This is still a new phenomenon, if you really want to think about it. So 100% it changes how we view people. And I think he's right. I mean, if you put LeBron, who's lived a pretty clean life, the only knock on LeBron is the decision.
Yeah.
He would be loved, and Jordan would be hated. He would be hated, all those things. In social media age, he'd be a pariah. Now, he'd still be a great, amazing NBA player. Let me put it this way. I think if you switch, this is what I find fascinating. If you switch them, LeBron's doing the Be Like Mike commercials. LeBron's doing the Hanes. I think so, right?
Yeah.
Jordan would be a bad boy.
What's the tag for LeBron? Be Like Mike is perfect for obvious reasons.
Sure.
It's a whole new world of things that we love. That
we're going down these like. I hope one day they have like a virtual reality world where you could examine things if they were switched. Like last episode, Praino and I had a great discussion, and I ended up having this at the car dealership of Brady. I did the same thing with the guy at my car dealership of this whole idea of what if Brady's drafted and goes to Cleveland? What if he plays for where is he? And I don't know how this could work or this simulation, but are we that far from a technology to see how things could play out? It'd be a crazy world.
Yes, it's a in Hollywood they call it the sliding doors idea.
Which is what?
It's just a movie, based on, I think Gwyneth Paltrow was in it, where basically like you just see your life. If you make a different choice, they see that life acted out. Basically saying, instead of like you take a right and you run into your future wife or husband, you take a left, you never meet that person.
Sliding doors.
Yeah.
When did this come out? Is it good? Because I find this fascinating.
I haven't. Honestly, I've never seen it. I just know that's what the people like. People always
talk. Do you, as an actor, do you watch movies?
Never seen a movie. I'm like Tom Cruise. Never seen a movie. You guys seen that quote where Tom
Cruise doesn't see movies?
Well, there's a great quote on Twitter somewhere. Like they're like, what are some of your favorite movies? The question, the questioner asks. Tom Cruise, what are some of your favorite movies? And he's like, oh man, I love movies. I love so many movies. I love movies that make you feel good, and movies that make you think.
He doesn't give it
movies that make you laugh. Never cites one movie.
That's amazing.
I know. It's like...
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, between all the movies he's doing in Church of Scientology, he doesn't have time to actually watch movies.
No.
Let's keep it NBA related. This is a question we kind of lightly touched on it, but this is a question about the Celtics.
Hey, Joe and Andy. Tim Heberlein, Erie, PA, DirtBall. As a Celtics fan, I see this team not living up to their potential. And I guess my question is, outside of your Kyrie take, what do you guys think is really the problem for this team? I mean, we all know Brad Stevens is a great X's and O's coach, but I think he might be struggling to keep some of these egos and agendas on this team in check. I mean, Jason Tatum's a great young player, should be treated as a number 2 option on this team, but isn't for some reason. So I guess how much of that do you put on Brad Stevens, and do you maybe see a trade coming for this team? Thanks, guys. Stay dirty.
It's a great question. Something I think about a lot, being a Celtics fan. A big Celtics fan. But I agree. They've underperformed this year, and I think we're like 50 games into the season now.
Yeah.
So there's 30 games left, 32 games left. You think a lot of these problems will be solved by now. No, they have played a lot better. Tim, I think his name was, right?
I didn't catch his name.
I think that was it. So shout out Tim for the great question about the Celtics. But I think like they're still trying. There's some ego juggling that's happening. I mean, Terry Rozier was a star in the playoffs last year, and he's not getting the minutes. We have a lot of glue guys that we had that played really well have been hurt. Baines is a guy that comes to mind for that team. I feel like we're just right now. I think you have.
They're just not.
The theory is Kyrie is like a ball hog, whatever. That's he puts people in position to win. We had a chance to hit a big 3 last night. We didn't hit it.
Yeah,
we had a shot. So we're playing. We're playing good teams well. We beat the Raptors. Recently, we could have beaten the Warriors last night. It's just a little bit of little things that just haven't come together yet. I think it's also Hayward is not really. We spent a lot of time trying to develop Hayward. The Celtics spent a lot of time, and they are just still waiting for him to get back to full health. He's just not there yet.
Sometimes teams don't mesh well.
It's true.
Just in general, all sports. You have talent, you have the ability, and sometimes it doesn't come together. And then sometimes, right, it's the opposite. where you might not have the quote-unquote talent, but teams just work well together. They fit together like a puzzle. I just don't see that with this team. But what's crazy is without Kyrie, without Hayward, they did fit together last playoffs. They did make it to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals. They worked. I don't know.
To me, one of the biggest pieces of the puzzle right now is trying to figure out Jaylen Brown. How do you solve the mystery that's been Jaylen Brown this year? He's been a little banged up, but we saw so much growth from season 1 to season 2, and we're not seeing it season 3. I think Bill Simmons or maybe post a picture, some stats about Tatum's growth and Jaylen Brown's growth, but we just haven't seen that really that sort of reemergence of Jaylen Brown being that dual threat on defense and offense this year. He's not quite 100% healthy, I don't think, but I'd love to see him get better. I mean, Tatum, also, this is not a Kobe household here at Dirty Sports. Like, Kobe,
This is not a Kobe household. That's what it actually says on my doormat.
Yeah.
This is not a Kobe household. Kobe stands are not welcome.
Yeah. So, he did practice with Tatum in the offseason. And we did have there were some bad habits that developed. I mean, Kobe is an unbelievable scorer, but I think Tatum picked up a few bad habits in the sense that he was taking shots he shouldn't necessarily take, or things that he hadn't perfected things that Kobe had taken 20 years to perfect. So, he's a case of a 20-year-old kid kind of shaking out some things that were maybe you kind of read your own clippings, and I don't know. I'm as befuddled as the phone caller, but
I would say this: we are 49 games in. They're 30-19. My argument would say they're not just going to figure it out come playoffs. They could. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Do the Celtics finally just figure it out come playoffs? No. The Celtics do. To me, they don't make it to the finals. For all those reasons.
I think it's a matchup. I mean, I just feel like the Sixers are good. If they somehow run into the Sixers, they got a good shot, because I just don't think that the teams match up that well. Or the Sixers match up well with the Celtics, and I think it's a pretty big coaching advantage in that game.
Sure.
The two teams I think you got to worry about are
the top two.
Are the top two.
Yeah.
Are the Bucks and the Raptors. I mean, the Bucks are hungry to avenge the loss from last year. It's a good. You and I change our MVP picks every time I'm on, but like Giannis is he's a real shot to be the MVP this year. So I think there's still a chance. I'm as confused as the caller though. I hope we can figure it out. But there's also the trade deadline. You never know. Maybe there's a piece moving. So we'll see.
Well, let's get to one final call. Lots of questions about the cut cam. Lots of people trying to determine what makes a cuck, what doesn't make a cuck.
What's the backstory on the Tennessee? You tweeted that out. So they just basically like did the cuck cam with that one guy.
Yeah, Tennessee did. They spotted a guy in the Tennessee student section. What was he wearing again?
I think a Minnesota Timberwolves jersey.
Yeah, he was in Minnesota Timberwolves gear in the middle of Tennessee's basketball student section.
Hey Timberwolves, come grab your mans or whatever.
Yeah, come grab your mans.
Yeah. I mean that was nice.
Yeah, they basically did their own version of the cut cam.
That's true.
I mean, I would argue the cut cam is one of the greatest things that Dirty Sports has ever introduced.
Yeah. I agree.
And I forget, and I apologize for getting your name. Shout out to the DirtBall who decided it was cut cam versus cheddar dick cam.
Yeah, you changed it, right?
Yeah. Slide into my DMs. You get some koozies. I mean, that's the least I can do.
Absolutely.
All right, so we have a question about this. This might be good for you since you're a fan of so many different teams. Shots fired.
Hey, boys. This is Luke from Ohio. Just a quick question. Would you be a cuck, or would it be unacceptable to, like let's say Joe, he's a Knicks fan. Would it be unacceptable, or would he be a cuck if he got a jersey of someone like he really, really likes? Like, let's say LeBron, or let's say C.J. McCollum, since he's an alumni from the same college that Joe went to. Would he be a cuck for getting a jersey for a player like that, for someone he just really fucking likes or slurps for good reason, obviously, because it's LeBron? But even like CJ McCollum or like Andy, let's say someone on Xavier's basketball team that you really liked was a lottery pick in the NBA draft, and he just went on to be a fucking stud in the NBA. Would you be a cuck to buy his jersey, even though he played for a team that you don't necessarily root for? Just wanted to see what you guys had to say like that, and stay dirty.
Now, Joe addressed this last episode. I thought Praino did an excellent job addressing this. We have kind of put out not a warning. We put out a signal to the DirtBall saying they're getting a little ambitious with the cuck cam.
So people are hitting you up all the time with pictures.
But not just that. That the main cuck cam is you wear a Golden State Warriors jersey to a Clippers Raptors game. Did you see what I'm saying?
I 100% agree. To me, this question is like, are you a cuck if you wear someone's jersey around?
Yeah, you're not. Dude, if you like LeBron, wear a LeBron jersey. But again, there's a caveat. You don't want to be wearing a LeBron jersey to a Minnesota Timberwolves Chicago Bulls game. Then you're a cuck. Agreed?
Correct.
Then you're a cuck. But yeah, dude, if look, I'm a LeBron fan. Praino's a LeBron fan. Praino is a diehard Knicks fan. If Praino buys a Portland Trailblazers CJ McCollum jersey because he went to Lehigh where Praino went, Praino's not a cuck for wearing that around. Again, I feel like were we so aggressive? Joe and I have called these people out that everyone is now scared. Guys, you can support. Again, it brings back to the point we mentioned last episode, and maybe he didn't hear last episode yet. You just can't wear an opposing team or an opposing player. I'm sorry, you can't wear a jersey of a player or a different team who's not playing. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's like the DirtBall who went to the Chiefs Patriots game and sent us that amazing cut cam. The guy showed up in Arrowhead wearing a Jimmy Garoppolo jersey. What are you doing?
I will say that I did cuck one time.
I knew it.
And it was on purpose.
What'd you do?
So like 6-7 years ago, UVA football played USC at the Coliseum. And I didn't have UVA jersey. So I only have one jersey. Because I kind of have a philosophy on jerseys. I'm like, this is going to sound weird, but this is the psychology episode of Dirty Sports. I find it weird that you would ever wear another man's name on your back. Like, to me, that just is odd.
No, that's not odd. I can see that.
Yeah, I just don't think that I would put another person on a pedestal where I would represent his name on my back.
You don't think a grown man should do that?
It's just not something that I would do. Yeah.
I can respect that 100%. Yeah. So what'd you do?
But I did at the time have one jersey, and it was not affiliated with a team that I liked. It was an Oakland Raiders Michael Huff jersey.
What?
It's so weird.
Yo, fool.
Yeah, and I went to the Coliseum to support or watch the UVA game against USC. But the funny thing was, I got more daps from people working at the Coliseum for the Raiders jersey than I have at any point in my life.
You knew I was
going to get love.
Yeah, I was going to say, you knew you were going to get love and you were protected.
Totally protected. Because it was like a lot of under the breath, like, yeah, Raiders.
I believe I saw, was it a comedian? I think it was was it a comedian? It had to have been. I see so much damn comedy. I wish I knew which comedian said it was. I believe I saw a comedian who said they put Raiders stickers on their car because they know, like,
they'll get love.
They'll get love, and a dude's not going to steal a car.
Yeah, that's
when he sees a Raider, he's like, "Yo, man, that's one of us." Like, he's not going to mess with that car if he has Raider stuff on it.
Yeah, I just have an issue with with the jersey thing.
I get it though. Yeah. I can actually respect that.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, to reiterate what we said last week, just don't wear a jersey of a person who's not playing. It's that simple. It's pretty much that clear cut. And there's no excuses. There's just none. I mean, again, the Rams games blow my mind. It was like the last Rams game I went to, which was the Eagles game. The tailgate next to us was one guy was wearing a Drew Brees jersey, and the other guy was wearing a Khalil Mack jersey. And I just don't get that. Like, it's Rams-Eagles.
I actually took a picture. In the spirit of Cuck Cam, I took a picture of a guy in my section for the Cowboys-Rams games who was wearing an Atlanta Falcons jersey. And do you know what player it was? Calvin Ridley.
Calvin Ridley, wide receiver Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, it was an odd choice, but I snapped the photo, and I should have sent it to you guys, but I was thinking of you.
Well, Tug, you should have said it. I would have posted it. Guys, those are the questions from the hotline. Thank you, as always. 310-359-8365. Let me look at the YouTube comments briefly. I see one from Joe Praino. He says, Tug Coker is the greatest thing DS ever introduced.
Oh, my God.
You guys have a love affair, don't you?
You know, Joe and I are just game respects game. And unlike you, I can see Joe out in the wild. We can meet up for a beverage.
Are you saying Target at 11 p.m. on a Saturday night by yourself buying candles does not count? What do you think that cashier thought? This is what I bought. Let me just go through everything I bought.
Yeah.
This is what I bought last night at Target. I bought 2 candles. I bought a new mat for my dishes. You know that you dry your mat on, or because I don't have a dishwasher here in the Smut Studio. I also bought a new pair of like running shorts, that the runners wear, and
running shorts that the runners wear. Yep.
Very redundant.
Yeah.
That was it. What do you think she thought? Did she think, wow, this guy's a loser?
Yes. I think there's a certain time on the clock at Target when you come in and they think you're a loser. It's after 10 o'clock.
Especially on a Saturday night.
Yep.
Yeah.
Although, the one thing that saves you is it's on campus at UCLA. There could be a lot of, right? You went in Westwood, right?
No.
Oh, you went to the one like Mar Vista or whatever?
No, I went to the Target. I take the 90.
Oh no, we're not doing that. I know where it is.
Yeah.
I love when we get into conversations about locale and.
Yeah, no, I didn't go to Westwood.
Oh, never mind. It's even worse.
Because then I really would be Ted Bundy.
Yep.
If I watched the Ted Bundy tapes, then I
go to UCLA campus to Target
at
and buy a
11
dish rack dryer.
Candles.
Ted Bundy could be one of the titles of this episode.
Is Andy Ruther Ted Bundy? He did have a kid, right? Did you know that? I didn't know that.
No, I didn't watch the video, so I don't know.
He married a woman. You guys got to watch this documentary. He married a woman, and they just didn't care. The jail guards used to let him have sex. He got his wife pregnant. There's another Bundy out there.
Oh my God.
It's wild. Tug.
One last thing.
Go for it.
Because I don't have time to watch. Did you watch any of the Firefest docs? I'm
going to watch the Netflix one.
So can you just ask the Dirtballs on YouTube who watched one, which one to watch? Is it Netflix? I'm going to watch one. Just tell me which one to watch.
Tweet at him, at Tug Coker.
Yeah, tell me which one to watch.
I'm going to watch the Netflix one.
Okay.
Tug, anything you want to promote besides your Twitter right now, at Tug Coker?
At Tug Coker on Twitter, at Tug Coker on Instagram. We're all just waiting for the moment I can finally announce where we're going to put this show on, which is just, I think, really a fun show for all the Dirtballs. Andy and Joe are on it. And I talked about it every time I'm on here. I can't wait to actually bring it to the world. But more stuff coming. I'm pretty excited.
Excellent. Well, you guys can follow us at The Dirty Sports. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Drop an iTunes review. It takes 2 seconds. We got a negative one this week.
Really?
Can I read the negative one?
Please.
I like reading all of them.
I just want to give a quick shout out to Joe Praino for letting me fill in. Thanks so much for letting me wear the jacket. I kept the tag on. I'll put it back in the closet.
Well, here's the plan. You are going to be back, right? On Thursday, you'll come back. We'll do a full Super Bowl preview, and then Praino will be on the phone.
I'm excited to do the three-way call again.
You're a fan of the three-way.
I thought it went really well.
I'm a fan of three-ways as well.
Hello.
Oh, is this thing on? Let me read our negative iTunes review this week because I wanna call attention to this.
Can you? And I don't know this. Can you respond to reviews like Yelp?
No. Not for me. This is January 21st. There are much better sports podcasts. I love when people say this. These guys are trying to be funny, but it isn't my type of humor. Well, I don't think we're trying. In fact, I want to give some love to my co-host. He's very funny. No one's trying. The show is funny. It's entertaining. And it's well-informed. So, fuck you, T.Y.
That's the only thing he says?
Yeah.
To me, that's a non-review.
There are much better sports podcasts. These guys are trying to be funny, but isn't my type of humor.
The essence of that review to me is this show is not for me. That's all. It's not enlightening in any way.
Which is fine.
Yeah, it's whatever. There's gonna be people who are. I'm gonna be surprised if there are people that are not. Andy Ruther is not for them.
Yeah,
he should be for everyone.
I appreciate that, but I'm not for everybody.
It's true.
It is what it is. But all the reviews count. So even his 1-star review is good for us. Guys, publicity is publicity. Look what happened to Rappaport when he left Barstool. I'm just saying. They just flooded all those reviews, and they just kept putting him in the charts. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. All those stoolies basically kept leaving him negative reviews, which then gave him like 30,000 reviews, which then ironically kept putting him in the top 5 in the charts.
Is that how it works? Just reviews are just what matter.
Reviews is a huge part of how they chart. That's why, guys, you get sick of hearing this. If you haven't left a review, it takes 2 seconds.
I'm going to do that tonight. I've not done it. I'm doing it tonight.
Leave a review on all the shows. This show, Dent Report, Dirty Slides, Praino's podcast. It takes 2 seconds. And you guys, Joe will be back on Thursday via phone call from the East Coast. Tug will be back again. We'll be doing a full Super Bowl preview. So stick around for that on Wednesday night or Thursday. We still haven't discussed. We'll figure it out. All right, guys, that's the show. Tug, thank you as always.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you for the year's supply of green tea.
Anytime, Tug. Thank you for beating me.
Paper Tigers.
Paper Tigers. All right, guys, that's the show. Thanks for listening. And most importantly, don't forget, condoms are for pussies.